Kyle.
Wake the fuck up, Kyle.
Kyle, wake up.
Come on, buddy, wake up.
Kyle, wake the fuck up.
Wake up, Kyle!
Wake your lazy ass
Kyle,
up.
wake up. Or don't, I really don't give a shit.
It's time to wake up. Your lazy ass is finally ready. Now wake up.
Finish it, you lazy sack of shit.
Pressing the circle button will make me do
Yo, what's up?
Okay, give it to me straight. How long have I been out?
About a year?
And you guys haven't been concerned about me at all.
No, we've sort of been kind of doing our own things in your absence.
I see.
Listen, Kyle, I'm sorry. But I mean, like, since I have you here, when are we, gonna get back into doing that?
That, shadow?
Man, I can't believe the world had to go without Kyle for an entire year. Imagine what the world's become. And for this long. Can you imagine what the world's become without me? Damn it. Oh! But that can't possibly be real. I could go outside, but no. I'm a gamer. And everyone knows gamers don't go outside. So now that I'm back from the dead, what am I supposed to look at now? I could always look at a puzzle game, an RPG, an adventure title, maybe even a platformer, oh for fuck's sakes. And that definitely happened. So jumping right in, what is a Kao the Kangaroo? A revival of an early 2000s platformer of the same name. I had literally no idea who Kao was until randomly, when I was comatose, I had a vision. A vision about a marsupial. A marsupial who can jump, and spin, and move through levels to stop evil and save what in God's name is Bandicoot? Yeah, the first comparison I made was the new Crash 4, not the old one, because But that's not really an insult, because I really like the look of this game. I really like the bright colors and cartoony art style. I mean, every time I looked at them alongside the gameplay, of course, it got me more interested. Other than those reasons, obviously, I mean, monkey brain took priority, just, I love platform, goofy animal, Why don't I give this one a try? And now that I've left Purgatory, why don't I do that? Now, I could play my magically existing copy of KO that definitely exists and isn't fabricated, but I don't f*** with magic. So I'm just gonna play it on PC, for the best performance. So I feel like I should at least mention the other games before I start on this one. Kao the Kangaroo, the original one, was released in 2000 on Windows and Dreamcast. Successful enough for a Game Boy Advance version apparently, and 2 more sequels. They stopped making Kao games due to
the rise in popularity of FPS genre on consoles, which saw 3D platformers fall at the bottom of the bestsellers pile.
Honestly, I have no idea why they didn't just use that knowledge and just give Kao a Glock 17 and let him go hog wild on the entire island. Call it Kao and the Marsupial Massacre. But then again, we've already seen what happens when you give companies their lovable characters a thirst for blood and an assortment of military fire. Kao the Kangaroo, 2022. Welcome to the land of lean. So the game starts with Kao and his sister in Purple Drank Land, where casual murder against tree frogs is okay. Apparently, whenever Kao was young, his father Kobe left him and his family in search of an evil power from another island. Then, whenever Kobe leaves to get cigarettes, he never comes back. It's my father all over again. I can still hear his voice.
Kyle, I'm still here. Stop pretending I'm not.
Kao's sister Kaya decides it would be a good idea to run off and try and find her dad, and she also never comes back. Just like my sister. just like Dad.
Hello. Please leave a message after the tone.
I went to college!
Sometime after this, she contacts her brother by ruining his dreams and tells him that it's time for him to abandon the family as well. Kao's mom tells him to go find Walter, a member of the Fighting Masters. And on his way, Kao finds his dad's old boxing gloves buried inside of a chest in the forest for some reason, and after catching up to Walt, this koala guy, he explains to Kao why they were hidden from him to begin with. So why were they hidden? Well, the Eternal Gloves are possessed by the power that Kao's dad left to stop, so when Walt somehow found them, he hid them to protect Kao from the evil gloves, which aren't really evil at all, and I don't know what's happening, and I really don't care, but that's fine. That's fine. It's fine. After some training and beating up this thing, which looks as bad as I smelled, and sounds like me when I stub my toe on the coffee table like... We make our way to the hungry jungle, and after beating up Monkey, we discover that we have to beat the Fighting Masters who were possessed by the Eternal Warrior, who's the big bad of the game. He's in charge of the Eternal World, you know, purple place.
Wocky Slush.
So we beat up a sheep, crash a plane, play at a carnival, find my sister, and beat up a Minky. Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention him. Yeah, this weird purple long-nosed thing is Minky, who, spoiler warning, is the Eternal Warrior. He shows up in the hungry jungle as a merchant that sells important items like heart pieces. It's supposed to be a twist villain, but I mean, this is a platformer story and it's not really complex. I mean, I kind of called it. I literally said out loud to myself, wow, this guy sure wears a lot of purple, just like the Eternal World color. I bet he's the villain. And I was right. But once you rescue your possessed dad and his evil hat, don't ask, we just kind of let him off with a pat on the back. Don't worry about your whole kidnapping my dad thing. There's still time for you to change. We won't imprison or punish you at all for anything. But why? Kinda dumb, but not trying to be anything deep, so I don't care. The plot's not super in-depth, and I mean, it's not really trying to be. It's not really connected to any former lore about Kao the Kangaroo. It's kind of its own self-contained thing, and it's a quick platformer story that progresses the game along, and that's all that it really needed to be. Especially in a cartoony platformer like this, it's just what it needed. It didn't really need to be some complex narrative. The game has a lot of cutscenes and dialogue in the stages, but the voice acting is,
Don't mom me, Kao. Those gloves are dangerous. Walt, explain yourself right this instant.
Gloves. Maybe not as dangerous as I thought.
Not the worst I've ever heard. It's definitely not great, though. The voice actors' inflections are odd, especially those trying to do accents. Also, don't get close to Minky in his shop. Don't do it. Please. Aside from those odd moments, I mean, the game is really pretty. Sometimes. Like I said before, I'm reminded of Crash Bandicoot 4 when looking at the worlds in this game. I mean, they're visually striking. It's cartoony, colorful, stretchy, bouncy, binging, boppy, goofy, silly, aha funny. The game's environments look pretty nice. I mean, while nothing new in platforming games, it's pretty tightly designed. I was surprised considering that this is a reboot of a game franchise that I had never heard of before, and it looked this good. With different hiding places and path diversions and extra hidden collectibles, every stage feels like a fleshed out platforming level. In almost every level, I felt motivated to look around and find the collectibles, and if I missed them, I would go back to the level eventually and find them. I legitimately wanted to play them again, just to find the collectibles. Well, again, nothing new, it didn't really have to be. In fact, that's the best way to describe this game. Nothing new, but it's still good. There's forest, jungle, lava, caves, and icy mountains. It's all very been there, done that. It's not really trying to be groundbreaking, it's just designed to be a good platform, and I think it succeeds at that. Controls felt very smooth. I could only think of a couple areas where it felt like the game screwed me in terms of controls. Like this spot where the depth perception just keeps Well, I guess I should talk about this place, huh? Welcome to the Eternal World. You've seen a few of these levels before already, but I wanted to talk about them more in depth, and what a better time to talk about them than after pulling my hair out at the pain of the depth perception. I exaggerate, it's not the worst in the world. Now to get to this wonderful, cold, and sticky place, you need to find one of these nice little hot tubs lying around and jump in. Do you like annoying platforming? Do you want to stay in the stage that you're already in? Too bad! You hopped in the sticky purple pool and you have to complete it, damn it! These are the Eternal Well levels. There are many challenges within the current stage you're already in. There's one well in every level, and they're pretty alright. They did release DLC that added 5 new levels to the Eternal Well, and they're a bit more fleshed out, with more collectibles to find in the normal wells, and... oh wait. Oh yeah, I didn't talk about the collectibles. Almost like how I didn't talk about the Eternal DLC because I forgot to write it in the script and had to write it later. There are coins to collect in every level and in the overworld, and those are just used to buy costumes and nothing really else. You can save up coins to buy extra lives, and I don't know what this is, I haven't tested grabbing it, and I don't think I will. There are also these different letters that spell out KO's name. The narcissist. The costumes are pretty cool looking though. I really like the classic costume that changes KO to look like how he did in KO 2. Maybe I'll go over that one day. I procrastinate too much. Besides being able to wreck shit and cause fits, you also have the elemental abilities. Being able to melt ice with fire, freeze rivers with ice, pull objects with wind. It's pretty basic for a platformer. I was gonna compliment it for being super cool and creative, but then I realized, wow Kyle, you sound pretty f***ing stupid for pointing out that fire, ice, and wind powers are pretty cool in a platforming game, even though so many platforming games used ice and fire and wind and The fire, ice, and wind power-ups are reserved for platforming only, and only add a graphical effect to the special attack. Other than that, they're not really used for combat, they're only used for platforming segments, and I feel like that was a missed opportunity. I wish you could throw fireballs or freeze enemies. I just want more out of the combat system. You know, wanting more, yeah, that's it. It's literally just 1-2 punch and 1 special attack, and it's enough to kill the bad guys. It's pretty bland, but like, how do you even hurt these guys with these floaty punches? I think all things considered, this game was very enjoyable. Not the most memorable platformer of all time. Well, some parts were memorable, but not for the right reasons. The game at launch was very buggy, which is when I bought it. It had some janky pop-ins, some weird collision bugs. I even lost my save at one point, but thankfully those issues have mostly been fixed. The story presentation may be a bit awkward, but the gameplay is solid, and while again nothing special, it's still a fun time and worth checking out if you enjoy pretty basic 3D platformers. For a game that's this short and this basic, it's surprising that I made a video with this long of a timeline. While I knew about them before playing this, I've never played any of the other KO games, but who knows, there's like 3 or 4 more of them, so maybe I'll actually go over them in a proper retrospective one day. This video has been long overdue, and I put 3 other videos to the side, and I'm only just now uploading this one. I want to thank my friends for supporting me and bugging me until I finally got a video out. I want to thank Andy for helping me out with this camera work here. Behind that camera. Little sly bugger. Little scallywag. I'm not going to use that one. I want to thank Keegan and Evan for inspiring me to finish this video. Evan with his review of Shadow the Hedgehog, and Keegan with his videos and help on my script. They've all been an extreme help, and I couldn't have done it without them. So, thank you guys. Thank you for helping me make my channel polished and finally helping me to get this video out. And most importantly, thank you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for sitting here, and I hope you'll sit down and watch another one. I'll see you guys next time. In 2025, it's Shadow the Hedgehog time, baby! Let's go! Evan, what do you think of KO?
I don't know.
Didn't play it. Spider-Man 2 is good though.